We're live. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Zach. I'm with Mitchell again.
I was listening about Iron Man today and how he resembles Elon Musk.
I can see that. Pretty good.
Yeah. How's everybody looking, seeing, feeling, tasting, drinking today? Welcome back to our channel, Getting That Medical Degree. One more episode on our journey to try to get into medical school. um, DO or MD, we will see whichever fish we catch first. Actually, we're both leaning more to DO just because of the whole holistic thing. But today's topic is what?
The day in the life of a pharmacy student. I know. The
There
last
we
one
go. You
was
were a little too slow there, buddy.
the last video was how to
You
get in
gotta
pharmacy school, and now we're showing you the day in the life. So
you gotta get that coffee or tea. Maybe those amino acids on you. Huh.
I don't know. I
All
think it's like
right.
10 p.m. right now. So so, anyways, the schedule for this is not really typical. This is more like my intense day at pharmacy school, for example. So schedule was like 8 a.m. to 9:50, and 10 to 11:50, and then 12 to 1's lunch. That's usually lunch period. So you
What
can
did
all
you do between 8 to 9?
uh,
Let's see.
so that was either like cardiology or law or something for 2 hours. So that's
And then 10 to 11:50. What was that?
um it was the next of the day, so it could be anatomy, it could have been another pharmacological course, could have been lab for 2 hours.
You
So
took a lunch. Was it lunch? Did you go somewhere? Or did you just stay on campus or?
our campus had a like Chick-fil-A down there. So
Oh, nice.
we had a pretty nice cafeteria. We also could use the hospital's cafeteria pre-COVID. It was pretty good pre-COVID. Now it's not too good anymore, but hey, it happens. Then 1 to 250 would be like maybe another therapeutics course. Depends on the day, what you're doing that day. Then 3 to 450, who knows what that class is. That's usually like probably a class you don't really care too much about, but you have to do it.
Bro, did you not shower? Did you not like have any coffee or anything like that? Like
No, I mean, yeah, you wake up at like 6. So I go to the next slide. So morning.
6?
Yeah. So
Why
yeah.
why'd you wake up at 6?
So we wake up at 6. You eat and drink coffee while doing some
Okay.
flashcards. So about 7. Then you drive 30 minutes to school.
Mhm,
Class starts at 8.
mhm.
In class, we usually did like
Mm,
IRATs and TRATs. So have you heard that terminology before?
I have,
So
2 years ago.
yeah, so an IRAT is an individual quiz, and a TRAT is a team quiz. So pharmacy school
Yeah.
is kind of about team based, so they always put you in groups for everything. Imagine that. And then so you take an individual quiz and you work with your team for the same as that quiz. And then you have lecture for 2 hours, which is usually about 100, 200 slides each lecture.
So, if you're an introvert, you will stop being an introvert or be more of an introvert whenever you graduate.
Oh yeah, they kind of force you
So,
not to be
what
an
about
introvert because you have to counsel patients all the time. So
yeah,
a lot of your stuff you're doing is counseling.
yeah.
So
So, after 450, what did you do?
yeah, so we'll get into that. That's gonna be the next slide. So let's get into it.
All right.
So afternoon, uh, all the classes you did the same format. You did IRATs, TRATs, or you just had lecture for the full 2 hours, no quizzes at all, depending on that day. Usually went to the library for 1 or 2 hours after class. If it was like this is more my more intense day. Some days I only had class for like 4 hours, and then I just
Did
went
you
home.
actually study though?
In
'Cause
the library?
I had a roommate, all right? Okay, listen, I had a roommate. He will wake up every single morning around 5:30 in the morning every single day, no days off. Actually, he might sleep on Saturday or Sunday until like 7 or 8. But he wake up 5:30 in the morning every day. He will go to the library, he will sit on his computer, he will open the laptop and he will be studying there, right? Studying, quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote. And then, like sometimes I work at the library, so I'll get there around 8 o'clock and I see him, he's sleeping. He's passed out. So I'm like, are you really studying though? And then after class, we the one time we had a class together. So I was like, so where are you going? Are you heading home? And he was like, no, I'm just going back to the library. And I was like, all right, so let's go to the library. Well, anyways, so he's at the library, and like half the time he's on his phone, half the time he's saying hi to other friends. Like, hey man, what's up? Or hey girl, hey, blah 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 blah. Like he's just socializing. He didn't go there to study. So and he will be stuck because I will pass behind him and I will look which slide number he's in. Then like 30 minutes or an hour later, he's still on the same slide.
No, as before, I like DMS diet very like compact. So this 1 or 2 hours, usually like 20 minutes Pomodoro technique, on and off. So I just set an alarm for 20 minutes, sat there. When the alarm went off, I'd, take a break, play on my phone for 5 minutes, and get back on it and do another 20 minutes of making flashcards. I stay there till the flashcards were made at least. Sometimes I wouldn't go through them, sometimes I would. So if I got through them real quick making them for the day, like this is what, a 3-4 lecture day, so that's probably 300, 400 PowerPoint slides to go through. So making
That takes, yeah, you have to be fast to review them that fast.
well, that's why I just make them after that. And then I go home, eat dinner around 7-ish. Give her about 50 new flashcards. So should always set a limit on how many new cards you do a day. So mine was 50 at the time. Still a lot of flashcards, and then you have to stay anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes, depending how hard they were. So if they're a topic like hypertension, that went pretty quick. But if it's a topic like
Sheesh.
depression, like the neurology in the brain that causes depression and stuff, like that was a little harder to do. So that take a little bit longer to go through. But as I said, this is my more intense day. I only had days like this like 2 times a week. The other days of the week, I had like maybe 2 classes, and then other days I'd have like 1 class. And I'd just be like, oh, you had your therapeutics for 2 hours. Now that's it.
So what did you do on the easy days? Like,
I
what
mean,
did you
kind of the
like?
same thing. I'd just go to the library. If the lecture was kind of hard, I'd go to the library for like half hour, an hour, just go through, make new flashcards for the day, and then go through old ones, then go home.
Did you have a full-time job whenever you were doing this?
Just weekends, just pharmacy intern on weekends because they really don't
Or like
recommend full
Friday,
time.
Saturday, Sunday?
Just Saturdays usually.
Hmm.
They recommend don't working too
Said they
much.
don't recommend.
They don't recommend working much. Also, for medical schools, they don't recommend you working at all. Some schools actually make you not sign a contract saying you won't work at all while you're in medical school.
Yeah, I can't. No, dude. Like, I need. How am I gonna pay for medical school, bro? Huh? Like, yes, loans, but like, sometimes loans don't cover 100% of the food, and I would much rather pay my food than interest on the food that I'm eating, because I don't like paying interest on the food that I'm eating or the rent that I'm paying.
Don't
So
worry.
I do have to have a
When you're in
job.
medical school, there's specially loans for you too. It's great. People take
Yeah,
loans
I
out for the
know.
phone bill all the time. It's crazy.
I know, but I don't want to depend on loans, bro. Like, I don't
Same.
want to be loaned out like out my ears, for lack of a better word.
That's why you hear medical students being about $500,000, $600,000 debt. That's because
Yep,
they're doing that.
half a million. Yep,
When you look at their
half
tuition,
a
it's not that
million.
much, but it's like, oh wait, you're taking loans out for your food, your housing, your phone bills.
Yeah, yeah.
Adds up over 4 to 8 years because you have also residency too, where you're making zero money, pretty much.
Hopefully by that time I'll have my book published, so like at least I'll make like $1 or two for each each book that I sell. So if I sell 500, there we go. That pays for my rent. Well, half of my rent. But okay, so on the regular day, on your off days, did you do anything to distress? Like,
I mean, I played video
were
games
you
every
like
day,
in?
anyways. Like after I do my 50 new flashcards, I'd play video games.
So like, was this like an everyday thing? Like, you just distress for like an hour and relax, like
It'd
playing
be
video
like three,
games?
4 hours, bro. After I was done with my flashcards, I'm done. I'm playing video games till midnight. So
You
eight
serious?
8 o'clock video games.
Yeah. What about any partying at all? Did you do
No partying for me.
any going out to part? No. All right.
I mean, I was in the party school, but I didn't go party. So
Yeah, it was really a party school because I've been to your college. I've partied in your college before. My roommate goes to your college actually.
yeah,
So yeah, I've partied in your college many, many times.
the main campus of my college is a party school. The science campus is
The science,
a
yeah.
little less party, but it's
Yeah.
still party.
It's because they're more grown up, they're not just like 18-year-olds. Some of them are like a little bit older, some of them are like 20, 23. No. So they already kind of like got it out of their systems.
And some of the professors
Um
drive Ubers actually too. So like when you out party, you might get picked up by your professor. So
And then the professor would be like, "Huh, you see, Zach, this is why you didn't do good on that test." They'll probably say, "Mitchell, not you." But yeah, you're like, "Yeah, Mitchell, that's probably why you didn't do good on that test on organic chemistry because you were partying until 3 a.m. in the morning because you thought, oh, I already know this." Like,
I'd pretty much just play video games after my flashcards done, and then just repeat the process the next day. But some days you didn't have a lot of
was
lectures too, so that kind of helped too. But
were you afraid of the monotony? Was there any moment that you were kind of getting burned out?
no, that's why I just did like 1 or 2 hours a day. I had some friends that crammed before tests. I didn't have to cram because I did like consistently one or
Yeah, I
two
think
hours a day.
cramming does not work. If you're listening to this, I've tested it. It does not work. You really need to know the subject. It's kind of like the multiplication table. You need to know it inside out, upside down, left and right. You have to understand it and apply it. So cramming is not gonna. You're not. You can't cram that.
Even for finals, I didn't. I did still only study like maybe 2 to 4 hours a day for finals.
Yeah, that I'm not. That's not me, bro.
Space
Props
repetition with
to you.
Anki. Anki space repetition, it saves you. Starting being a
Yeah, listen.
semester.
I did not know anything. I didn't discover Anki until I graduated from college. So that was on me. That's actually my fault because I should have been like researching like better ways to study and stuff like that. But um,
So
that's just in the past.
don't
And you
cram.
grow, and this is why we make this channel. So if you're listening to this and you're a freshman,
Don't
learn
cram.
how to study. Yeah.
There's a lot of good actual research articles out on it. So I've read a good bit of them now. So yeah, read them. So I think that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and comment below what you learned from it and what questions you have. See you next one.
So you guys keep on learning.